Artists, creatives, and designers, welcome to Dream Aloud Art, the podcast where creatives are educated on seeing value in themselves and their creations. Presented to you by RTA, respecttheartist.com. I'm your host, fellow creative and friend, Electra B. Frederick. Let's go. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. What's going on? It's so good to have you. I appreciate you. I really do. I just want to say that I really appreciate you tuning in. And I want to remind you to please leave a review. Leave a review. Leave some good notes. If you enjoy this podcast, if you pull anything of value from it, reviews are greatly appreciated. And shout out to those who have given reviews. So, we're going to touch on something today. And for those of you who know me, this is a legit touch conversation because y'all know, I get passionate. When it comes to just discussing confidence, when it comes to discussing worthiness or having a sense of value or self-esteem, anything that is linked to your confidence, anything that is linked to confidence, empowerment, pick the verbiage, okay? But it all goes back to you and how you see yourself and how you know yourself, and do you know yourself? And so some people know me as a motivational speaker, right? And some know me or see me as one who empowers other artists. And I'm very mindful of verbiage and the way it's received. So I want to give you a quick, look, I said we're going to touch on this subject and whoo, goodness. All right. Are we going to touch on it or am I going to dive deep? I feel like depth is necessary anyway. Like it's going to happen. So it's very important that you realize you're going to hear me say some of the same messages in future podcasts because I feel like it's more important for you to get it. Okay. That means one or two things, actually get it so it clicks for generations. Y'all have heard me say this before. It's more important that you get it instead of like 8,000 different things, topics, all these, like just a bunch of different you know what? Go deep with one or two things. So anyway, that was a mini tangent. So let me rewind a little bit. I'm very careful about the verbiage that I use, and I want you to truly understand that I'm not giving you something, okay? I am not forcefully giving you a message that you insert in your database through your ear and forcing you to change or make a decision, a different decision, whatever that is. I am not inserting anything. The only way that anything that I say actually clicks for you is your willingness to receive it. You have to have a certain openness to receive it. And if you are not a receiver, you will not receive the message. That doesn't mean good or bad. It just means you don't receive my message. It's like me sending you a text message and it was never delivered. Right? You have to be open to receive it. And for some of you who can remember using, not having information of, but using a landline and understanding what a receiver is, the receiving end. It's the same thing with your cell phone or your text message. You're receiving. So you have to be willing to receive a message from me, from anyone, from a writer. Like, I'm a writer, an author, as far as books are concerned, whatever, right? Even for myself, I have to be open to receiving. And only when I'm open to receiving it will it click. It'll click. It'll click hard enough that it will shift the mindset, the lifestyle of yourself and generations after you and the people that you touch, their lives. So it's just so important that you realize that. And again, you will hear me say this in the future because, again, Lord, it's more important that you get that you get one strong message as opposed to not getting the message of like 8,000 little messages, 8,000 different topics, switching it up every 2 seconds, right? We're versatile. I'm versatile with what I discuss, but understand that it's rooted in knowing your own personal value, your own worth, your self-esteem, all of that, baby cakes, all of that. So we're going to touch on the myth of the unworthy artist. There's some kind of idea that's been permeating for some artists out here. But I want you to understand that that kind of mindset only exists if you allow it to exist. All right? Now I'm going to go deep. I told y'all. I told you it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And you'll have to excuse my voice. I don't really know why my voice sounds a little bit different, but that's okay. So, if a child is raised in a house and that child never leaves the house, the child is raised, till, from a baby to a 3-year-old to a 6-year-old to a 9-year-old to 12 to 15, and they've been in this house, maybe the backyard, right? And they have never communicated with neighbors. The only people they've communicated with is their family. And their family has instilled in them that artists are worthy, creatives are valuable. Creatives like you, creatives like me, we are valuable. And they instill that message in them. That's all that the child will know. Do you hear me? That's all they'll ever know. That's all that they will believe. Now, that child actually leaves the home, finally meets neighbors, finally gets, out here in the world, right? Now they're hearing differently. Now people are telling them different things. They're saying that artists are not worthy. Oh, artists aren't this or that, right? That child can decide if they believe that. That child can look at the stats, look at the numbers, look at this and look at that and look at or that child now turned to a teenager and then to an adult. They can decide if they believe it or not. And what I have found in the thousands of conversations that I've had with artists is that if they believe they're not worthy, they will constantly get reminders. They will bask in reminders. They'll get on social media and talk about it. They'll post about it. They'll find posts that talk about a starving artist. They'll hang with low vibrational artists. Come on now. I know y'all don't want to hear it, but it's true. They will stick with the energy that they're familiar with, which is unbelief of their own worthiness, because that is the decision they have made. It is a belief, and they buy into the belief. It is not the exterior world telling you this. It is your belief. And when you are rooted, so rooted in a belief system, you will seek validation of that belief. It is your drug. You want it. You're addicted to that belief. But to the child who has been rooted, and I want you to understand something. I use that example just as an example, okay? That doesn't mean that your upbringing should have been backed with people telling you about how amazing and incredible and worthy you are. That is not what I'm talking about. What I'm leading to say is that you can decide. You can decide. You don't have to stick to this merry-go-round belief of unworthiness. You just keep going in a circle. It's a cycle, it's a pattern. You can decide. And so when I'm giving consultations, right? One-on-ones with artists, and they have questions, they always have, and this is, I say this with love, and I want you to understand something. It will generally start with a business question, right? Or a question about their style, their work. It usually starts with something that seems and appears to be a surface symptom, and they believe that they want a treatment. But what I say is that I'm gonna help you see the cure. You are the cure. You, you. And it starts with a decision. Do you want to continue to believe that you're unworthy, or will you decide that you are? And as you decide that you are, then you will be allergic to anything that deems it otherwise. You won't even, your tolerance for any kind of material, any kind of content, any kind of people that do not reflect your belief of your own worthiness, your tolerance is severely low. You don't have it in you. You can't, it's just, it's not even possible. And I want you to understand something. I have to say this because I know someone is going to have this thought. A decision doesn't mean you make the decision once. You make the decision once and then again and then again, and everything that you do. If you see yourself as worthy, then I'm gonna hit this, gonna hurt somebody's feelings. If you see yourself as worthy, you can't help but to see someone else as worthy. And every time you speak death, right? You speak negativity, you speak minus, you speak deficit. Trust me, you don't see yourself as worthy. If you speak down about someone, right? Now, I'm not talking about you notice something with somebody, or like, oh, are they okay because they did one, two, and three. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you speak about people like the lowest. You know what I'm saying? you I There's no way you could see yourself as worthy, because if you saw yourself as worthy and you continue to see the value in yourself, not conceitedness, not arrogance, this is a healthy understanding of your own self-worth. When you are seeing that in yourself, when consciousness sees itself, come on now, come on. You can't help but to see the value in someone. I didn't say you have to like them and run with them and absolutely like hang with. I said you can see the value in them. And I'm going to pop up, y'all know my favorite one of my favorite references, so we're on the same page, is Merriam-Webster's dictionary. And the definition of worth, let's pull it on up. The definition, y'all know I have my laptop in front of me. Or I'm going to talk about, okay. Worth, one of several definitions, is a moral or personal value. And when you see yourself as worthy, one of the definitions is having sufficient worth or importance. So if you want to deem yourself as someone important, you will consistently see how you're important. Once again, I am not inserting this message in your ear, to your eardrum, to all the little receptors in your brain. You are the one who has to receive it. You can hear this, but will you receive it? Will you decide today, today, today? Yes, today is the day. I am going to decide that I'm a worthy artist and my creations are worthy. Y'all know I really used to put a lot of emphasis on pricing your art because it's linked so close to the idea of self-worth. And the negotiation process that starts happening within that inner dialogue, whenever price becomes a thing, you want to sell your work, but you don't deem it as worthy. I know that's a real thing. I've experienced it. I've gone through it. I don't speak on anything that I have no clue about. Like, I only speak on anything that's true to me. I can only speak on something that I've experienced or that I understand. I would be an ineffective speaker if I spoke on something that I had no clue about. You are worthy when you decide that you're worthy, when you make the decision today and you're like, you know what? I am worthy. Hold on a minute. When you deem yourself as worthy, you don't even look at yourself in the mirror the same way. You can't even, your lifestyle changes completely because you understand your worth. You understand the worth of your time. You understand your relationships. You understand how you bring value. You want to bring value. And this connects to business. This connects to your money. You have to listen. Your life won't change until you do, baby cakes. It's just not. You have to make that decision. So it's a myth of the unworthy artist. And what have we learned today? Y'all know I'm a certified instructor. What have we learned today? The way that you become worthy is you decide. That's the first thing not only the first thing you have to do, but what else did we learn? You have to do this every day. Every day. When that inner dialogue says, you know what? I know that I got something before the thought. And that power that is before the thought is so crystal clear. That's where all my clarity is. That's where my soul lies. That's where my soul is chilling because I know who I am. I got so much value. What? No dollar can be placed on that. Do you understand me? That's the mindset, the heart set. Your soul has to be in alignment with all of that. So I hope that you have pulled something from this message today. I hope that you what? Received it. I hope you what? Received it. on a soul level. And it clicked for generations. Today's the day that it makes sense. Today, not yesterday. We're not worried about yesterday, right? Or tomorrow in this moment. Focus. Today. You may need to listen to this again and do it. It's free. It's free 99. Go on and listen to it. And I want to let y'all know, if you feel like you need to go deeper, if you feel like you still need some emphasis and some assistance on seeing the value that you have, if you believe that there's something blocking you from embracing your true worth as an artist, go to the description, send me an email. team@respecttheartists.com. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all once again, because I know how this thing happens. I know how this thing works when it comes to the content that I put out there and the artists that have reached out to me. Send me an email. There's someone listening to this right now who, it's important that you understand that this is not someone else's business. This is you. This is the business of you. And how are you running your business? How is it looking? Right? How is it looking? All that exists is the worthy artist. And you can make that decision today. So I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. You already know what RTA stands for, right? Of course you do. Respect the artist. So go down to the description, send me an email, check out the other links, subscribe on YouTube, follow on IG, and all of that good stuff. All right. I appreciate y'all. Peace, and I'll holler. Artists, creatives, and designers, it has been an honor and a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'm grateful for your encouragement, love, respect, and support. Follow this podcast and share this episode with another creative who needs to hear it. Your positive ratings and reviews are highly appreciated. Screen capture this episode, post it, and tag me on Instagram @DreamAloudArt so I can show the love in return. For more information on having an artist consultation with me, or for being on the YouTube show for artist interviews, check the description on this episode or go to respecttheartists.com. That's RespecttheArtists.com. Much love to y'all. And remember, RTA stands for Respect the Artists. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace from here to the Far East.